Oh. Hey, hey, hey.
Bonjour.
Salut.
Salut. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, no. How was your 10-minute break?
Mine was very nice. I had a snack and then I prayed.
Oh.
And then I'm just scrolling through my Instagram
Mm-hmm.
story replies, my likes and my comments. And I felt loved. I feel very grateful for all the people I have in my life.
That's really sweet. Yeah. I feel that more in person than I do through social media, if that makes sense.
That makes
I think,
complete sense.
yeah. I feel like I just say that a lot for the sake of it. But yeah, like, I just feel like in person, I really feel grateful and in the moment with friends because I can actually see them all in front of me or in the moment. But like, it's hard to explain it. But I'm glad you feel the love online.
I think I have the opposite perspective on it. It's when I'm physically on my own, and despite that me being, say, in a room on my own, I then go to look at my phone and I see all these messages. I'm reminded that I'm not actually ever alone.
Mm,
And that's when I start to feel more appreciated.
I love being alone. But then
I enjoy it, don't get me wrong.
no, you do. You definitely do. But then, to be fair, even when we are alone, we still end up on the phone to each other at
Yeah.
either late at night or early in the morning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good friendship when you can be on your own and like you don't like take me away from my own alone time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's nice to have you there whilst I do my own thing as well.
I mean, that happens to us quite often. We have had phone calls, but we're not talking to each other. We're just doing our own thing.
No, oh my gosh, have we discussed this before on the podcast? Like, I would be in the middle of a rant explaining something, and he has not said anything in like 2 minutes, and then at the end of my rant, I hear the toilet flush, and I was like, "Were you in the toilet the whole time?" And you're like, "Yeah."
We've been on the phone while I'm having a bath, while I'm having a shower, while I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
There's no boundaries there.
Even when we're eating food, sometimes you can just hear like. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, but we don't do it in a way where we're like not listening to each other.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's a difference. Because like, some people can be doing their own thing and not taking anything you're saying, but we actually are quite active listeners with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I also feel like what you said about us taking away from each other, I think you said something along that line.
Yeah. You don't take
When
away.
we are on the phone with each other and we're in our thoughts, I think one of the reasons why we don't take each other out of that mental state is because we share a lot of the same thoughts. So it is kind of like an echo chamber.
Exactly. It's actually really nice to have that as well. Like if I saw a lot of videos about Chapel Roan and hate and it affects me, I call him and I'm like, oh, can I just discuss this with you? Like, and then we are just in that flow state where we just like talk about so much about it, and it's so nice. Yeah.
Have we said hello to the people yet?
Hey guys,
Hi everyone.
we're back. Just
Hey.
welcome. We did it again when we just started talking to each. Oh, it's all right.
Hello everyone.
Sorry to exclude you out the conversation there, guys. Hey.
But welcome to the newest episode. This is Right Person, Wrong Time, Part 2.
Part 2. And this time we're actually going to go through some notes that Darin actually made and not just wing it like we did the first episode. That was really nice though.
This is an issue we faced the first time we tried to film the podcast. We were too planned. We were too thorough.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I planned 4 episodes before we even started filming, and they were thorough, university level, well researched
No, guys, he
episodes.
was like he he printed out.
Printouts.
No, but guys, it was like literally like dissertations that he was printing out. And I'm not gonna lie, like you expected me to read 5 pages of research on why on genders and friendship and like different countries of I was like, man thinks I'm in a university lecture right now.
It took away from what
Mm.
makes the magic in our friendship, which is the
Yeah.
spontaneity of it all, the off the cuff. You and me have often said about both each other and ourselves, more so you, we don't think about what we're going to say. So we're always
No.
equally as surprised about
But
when it
just
actually comes out.
that's one of my favorite moments in life between us that happens. I don't know what I'm like. I put my headphones on for this call. I was like, I have no idea what we're gonna say, but I'm excited.
When we did the first episode, right person, wrong time, and now we have to call it part 1 because
This is part
essentially
two.
I planned to talk about the research in that episode. I wasn't expecting us to talk about as much or even half the stuff that we did talk about. When I was doing the research, a lot of the time I was just thinking to myself, I don't know what I really have to add to this episode because I don't think a lot of this really applies to me. Only to find out as soon as we start talking, that was the most relevant episode to our friendship potentially to
Yeah.
date. For context, if you're for whatever reason listening to this episode, which should be titled Right Person, Wrong Time Part 2, without having listened to Part 1, in Part 1, an example of right person, wrong time. Me and Gabby have been friends for over a decade. However, there was a period between 2022 and 2023 where we did not speak. And we use that as an example of right people,
Right
but
person,
not the
wrong
right
time.
time.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention before I get into what you just said, we met in 2014. We did not become friends till 2015. Is that again another example of right person, wrong time?
Well, yeah, because even more so the point, we met at summer camp. We were not best friends at summer camp. We weren't even in the same group.
We
But
were we
we were just friends in summer camp. Let's be real. We were just like, okay,
No,
I
I
know.
wouldn't even say that. I would say acquaintance.
How dare you? We were
We had
friends.
mutual
We had
friends.
mutual friends, and we kept because yeah, it wasn't like me and you met up one on one on the campsite.
So going back to what you were saying, when did you find out I was moving and where were we?
Yeah.
I must have told you I was moving March because I left in April.
Yeah, and I was really confused when you were like, "Oh yeah, because you just like left your work on," and I was like, "What? Why'd you?"
So yeah,
I was
in
so confused.
so around that time, I had told you, hey, because we went clothes shopping, and
Yeah,
I was telling
in
you there are
Wembley.
all these things that I like, but I don't know what I can take with me. And you had no idea what I was talking about.
You know, we were so I found out when we were in the queue at Tommy Hilfiger, and he picked up a purple jumper. We were next. He was about to go pay. He tells me the news. I say what? And then
We
he
step out the
decides we
line.
step out the line. He doesn't even buy the jumper, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was like, you tell me this here of all places, the place where Black Coffee Girl broke my heart. Oh
There's so
gosh,
many layers to it.
that's so funny.
You hadn't been back to Wembley
Oh my god,
since your
yeah,
heartbreak,
exactly.
and you like to go to Wembley.
I had a thing for Wembley because that's where I get my Vans because they're really cheap in the outlet bit. Yeah,
The
is that
second
a
layer to
tradition?
this, the second layer to this is we're in Tommy Hilfiger, your favorite store.
And I was like, "Oh, let's go into Tommy's." And, like, I can't believe I found out he was moving to Scotland whilst we were in the queue for Tommy
The worst
Hilfiger.
part
It's
is
like,
you're the last person to know.
yeah, that's crazy work. But yeah, so anyway, so back to the original point is, like, we were getting close again. that year, and then I find out, oh, he's moving to Scotland. So that was a bit like, oof.
The same could happen to you soon.
But I think what we both didn't expect, well, at least I didn't expect, was that me and you would be so like we'd be communicating with each other so much more since you
Distance
moved.
makes the heart grow fonder.
But if it, but I feel like we're very close.
Yeah,
Like in the sense that it feels like you haven't moved away.
almost definitely.
Yeah, which is really sweet. Friendship goals.
So,
Okay.
we discussed our entire friendship and that time of our life and everything that went down in the first part. For
Yes.
the second part of the episode, Cathy asked me to do some research on this topic. Because again, when we first started filming that episode, we both didn't feel like we had a lot to say. We had our general statements
Huh.
of what the phrase meant to us and what we think it meant. And upon
Yeah.
putting it into further context, we were really able to divulge our full thoughts and feelings into it. But I have some research here that I think we can look into. There are some
Okay.
things that we never mentioned.
I'm down. Let's hear it.
So
Wait.
I actually wrote my initial feelings, and I said, when you hear the statement right person, wrong time,
Uh-huh.
there's almost a hopeful sentiment.
Definitely.
Things are ending, but you're hoping for a better future. Is it optimism? Or is it refusing that something isn't working right now?
Is it Delulu?
Is it delusion?
Or is it blind optimism?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It is really strange, this topic, because I do think it is situational, I guess, because otherwise, like, I don't think it's right, but then me and you have, I guess, rekindled and gotten
It's definitely a
closer.
thing that can happen. I guess what I'm getting from it is when you think about someone and think to yourself, oh, it's the right person but the wrong time, is
Yeah.
that something you think in the moment? Or is this something you think in retrospect once you've rekindled?
Okay, let me ask you then. This is not friendship wise now, but in the context of like Gilmore Girls,
Okay.
people thought that some fans I always see, they think that Jess was the right person but wrong time for Rory.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
So you do
But
believe it in some sense, yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the case for her and her end of the show relationship as well.
Hmm.
Logan. She doesn't end up with Logan in the end.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was right person, wrong time as well. They, well, actually,
So who's Dean
I
then?
don't
No.
want. No, Dean, I
No, no,
think is the opposite.
Dean was the right
Wrong
person at
person,
the right
right
time.
time.
Yeah, he
I
was the right
think
time.
when you say right person, wrong time as a blanket statement, I think it ignores the idea of change. And what I mean by that is, in each individual context or scenario, you're seeing it as a stagnant point in time. Logan was the right person at the right time, but then the moment it became the wrong time, he became the wrong person. I
Interesting.
don't think one can be right without the other one being right. It can never be right person and wrong time. It's either right person and right time or wrong person, wrong time. At least in these Gilmore Girls scenarios, as I'm choosing to see it. Coming down to priorities,
Yeah.
why their relationship ended is because the character of Rory had to prioritize her career that involved her traveling. So she could not, it would have to have been a long distance relationship of sort, which I don't think they were going to do.
Sorry, by the way, if this is any spoilers to any Gilmore Girls,
Oh,
but
spoilers alert.
I mean, it has, yeah, it has been out for a while, so hopefully no spoilers.
He was the person she ends up with towards the end. It was the right person at the right time. But the moment it became the wrong time, I believe he became the wrong person.
Okay. I think in the Jess situation, when they met, he was a juvenile, like, not a nice person, just, like, treat didn't even treat her that nicely, to be honest. Don't think he was in the right mindset for any kind of relationship, but then when he eventually came back in the future, he was a bit more put together and mature. So, I do see the right person, wrong time in that situation.
I'm gonna counteract that with something.
Oh.
I think when the statement applies to one person, it doesn't have to apply to the other person.
Ooh,
I think Rory was the right person for him at the wrong time. And I think for her, Jess was the wrong person at the right time.
interesting.
In these scenarios, if we take romance out of it and just see it as a general dynamic or relationship,
Mhm.
sometimes one person could get something out of it, someone can get nothing out of it, or one person is getting more than another.
Can I ask you this then? If situationships can exist in romance, does situationships exist?
100%.
Wow, that's like a whole new topic right
When
there.
I was reading through some of this research, I actually had some flashbacks to some friendships I had growing up.
That's wild.
So, right person and wrong time.
Mhm.
So, the phrase indicates you have a connection with someone, but due to circumstances, a relationship is impossible or doomed to fail. Factors like career, emotional readiness, or conflicting life goals. As you mentioned before, your priorities.
Yes.
What do we say when we say right person? I think it's chemistry.
Chemistry.
It's getting along, having chemistry, hobbies, interests, conversation flowing, enjoying each other. That's what I believe it means to say a right person. What are your thoughts
Wait,
on that?
there is a you just reminded me, I'm gonna get it up. There's a How I Met Your Mother quote that talks about this perfectly. Robin says to, uh, Ted, "If you have chemistry, you only need one other thing, timing, but timing's a bitch."
There we are.
There we go. Literally is yeah. So chemistry is important.
Because if you go to friendship and how that works, it's almost like meeting someone on holiday.
Yeah.
Like, you get along with them, you have a great time, you have fun times, but then you're like, okay, the holiday is over. We kind of need to go back. I'm going back home, which is in one continent. You're going back home, which is another continent.
Yeah.
You can exchange social media, but the friendship that you had when you were in person might not be the same when you're trying to do it over online.
Do you know what else do you know what this just made me think about? I'm gonna say Lotus Cookie is an example of just made it in the right just made it in the nick of time. Because if this person met me any later, I would have been on my way to Canada. Or if I met them any later or earlier. It's very interesting. Basically, Lotus Cookie moved from Canada to London, and then we got really close, and then I then had to tell them, "Well, actually, I'm gonna move from London to Canada." So isn't that crazy? It's like, "Oh, damn. Is that can't be wrong timing, is it?" Because I hope that we will still keep up our friendship, but obviously it's just unfortunate timing because we don't have as many years together as I would have liked in person.
Yes. No, I understand.
So that's an interesting case of but it is but we did meet at the right time in a way because they are now helping me prepare for my move because they just went through it.
It goes back to what you said before in a previous episode.
Yeah.
And this is what I was trying to get at when I was talking about the phrase right person, wrong time feels a bit too stagnant for my liking.
Okay.
You said that some friendships are like seasons.
Yeah.
It it's for that moment, but it's not forever.
Yeah.
So
But
it
with
can be
Lotus, it's forever. Sorry. We'll see. Yeah.
yeah. I think I told you as well when I first moved to Glasgow, I met someone. I'm not giving him a cookie name. I'm going to name him by name because we
Oh,
sadly don't speak anymore. His name is Reese.
well. Reese's
We
Pieces. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what?
Sure.
Let's do that. Reese's Pieces. Hey, Reese's Pieces. We have near identical lives. When I say near identical, I mean even the way our parents both met were the exact same.
That's wild.
How his parents met are the exact same way how my parents met. He always called it same book, different font.
Oh, I like that.
Where I moved to Glasgow, I would have been 25. He was 28, turning 29, and he was leaving Glasgow. And he was telling me he also moved to Glasgow when he was 25. And he
Mm,
said he wouldn't be surprised if I leave when I'm 29.
interesting.
And who knows? That could happen.
Yeah. Well, do you believe in coincidences?
100%. I think I would be a fool not to believe in coincidences.
Coincidences.
For the brief time that him and me were both in Glasgow, we spoke a lot and he taught me a lot, and he was a very welcome addition into my life.
Mm.
Since he's moved, we haven't been in contact, and that's because he's not a big social media person.
Mm. That is scary how you could actually just not be so close to someone, then not have any way of contacting them ever again, not even knowing if they're what they're doing in a way.
Exactly, I have no idea what his life is like right now. I can only wish him the best.
To be
So,
fair, sorry, I was gonna say, me and you both went through a phase where we made new Instagram accounts, right?
we did indeed.
And I don't know how that came across to people who used to follow me in my old one, but I just wanted a fresh start where I wasn't so connected to just seeing everyone from my high school and college and old work. I just wanted a new Instagram for just like a smaller amount of people. But, I mean, there are people now that are finding this Instagram, but still, like,
S-
I've
So
definitely cut down the amount of followers I had. Yeah.
I made a new Instagram because I wanted a fresh start at life.
Yeah.
And I always told myself there are some people I will follow straight away instantly.
Hmm.
There are some people, it's been what, 5 years since I've done that? I haven't followed again since. And it's not because I don't want them in my life. I've just always had this feeling I'm not ready yet. Because the person
Hmm.
I was before, I feel quite ashamed of. And there's
Oh,
parts of me that feels like I'm not different enough. I haven't changed enough that I feel comfortable following these people from my past again who I want to reconnect with, because I can't help but feel like I haven't changed enough.
that's so
I,
interesting you say that because there's certain people I won't follow again because I've changed too much.
interesting.
Well, not my essence, because you guys obviously are still friends with me because of that. When
Yeah.
of like, I'm not as much of a pushover anymore. I'm not so much of this and that. So I don't really care for certain validation from certain people that I necessarily, would have used to cared about.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to get their likes or comments. I'm not trying to wonder if they'll see my story. I don't care anymore. The people who follow me now are present in my life now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, sorry, back to the notes.
No, so I was just saying, when you break down the phrase right person, wrong time, right person can indicate chemistry, as we discussed.
Chemistry, that's it. That's the original point.
Wrong time is your life circumstances. So, kind of like what you were saying,
Hmm.
if let's say someone tried to reconnect with you from your past, but you weren't really feeling
I'd be
it,
like, there's a door. Leave.
you'd be like,
So that's so rude. Sorry.
that's a case of an emotional difference. Or even conflicting life goals. You feel
Mm,
as though your priorities are too different from this person. So I feel like in the moment or in retrospect, if you ever feel like a person was the right person, but it was the wrong time,
mm.
it's a general sign of incompatibility.
Incompatibility. I was just going to say that. Again, this
Or
sounds very romantic, but it does link to friendships as well.
or is it a temporary issue? I'm glad you mentioned that. This is something you and me have spoken a lot about before. We can romanticize friendships if we want to. We
Yeah.
can treat our friendships a bit more romantically because
Uh-huh.
a really good relationship is when you can treat each other like friends.
Yeah.
And I feel as though, and this is something you and me speak about often, a really good friendship can be one where you romanticize it a bit. So between you and me, we do friendship dates, we call it. We didn't say
Yeah.
hangouts, we're going on dates. We're booking. There are some things that we save for whatever reason just for relationships, but they can be equally as nice if you do it with your friends.
Yeah, no,
Like
I see that. I see that.
saying to your friends, let's book a restaurant, let's make a reservation, let's dress up nicely and go out. For your partner, you may like buy gifts and do small acts of kindness like that. Why can't you do that
We
for
do
your
that. We do
friend?
that. Me and you are known for that with our friends as
We
well. We do that.
You have
Yeah.
given me gifts sometimes, and I have said to your face, "Oh, thanks. What is this for?"
You did that. You do that to me all the time as well. Oh.
Me and
Sorry.
Cathy.
Sorry.
What?
There's something I do with that with everyone as well, where it's like if I'm going out for a drink with friends, I'll be like, "Oh, let me get this," even though this is how I become broke, guys. I offer to pay for you guys when I don't have the capacity to pay for myself. I ain't your boyfriend. Why am I paying for your drinks?
What? Something that often happens whenever it's mine or Cathy's birthday. We didn't do it this past year. We give each other a hand-drawn notepad
Oh
or a
yeah, we
notebook.
used to do that. Oh bless.
I started one, but I haven't finished it yet. Maybe 2 years ago, you gave me one randomly. Like you had this hand-drawn
Oh,
book.
what phone call notes was it?
But that's the thing. It
That's so
wasn't my
cute.
birthday or anything. It wasn't even your birthday.
And I gave this to you in a Weatherspoons, didn't I?
Yeah, the Weatherspoons,
Yeah.
we waited an hour for dessert.
It was just fruit and ice cream.
I was like,
Oh, that's
are they
crazy.
growing the fruit? Are they blending the ice cream?
Oh god. Now that I work there, I'm telling you, they are not making that ice cream fresh. I don't know. It's fine. It's cool.
But
It's
no,
all
this is
good.
just an example of you randomly giving me a gift with no special occasion related or involved.
And it's a sentimental. Yeah. Oh, hang on. He's done this to me before. He's given me 52 playing cards with like reason like of our inside jokes and like he would like handwrite on them on a deck of 52 cards. That wasn't my birthday. You gave me you also gave me a jar of sweets and a note that says requited love. You actually did. That's so Aw.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I
Not to
tried to
toot
write you
my
a
own.
song a couple oh yeah, White Musk. Can we talk about that?
No. We need to talk about I Think She's an Alien.
Yeah, and another song I wrote as well.
You wrote one called The Best Friend Song, and it was a really good song.
Yeah, it's about the strawberry.
Strawberry?
Strawberry? Oh god, we've been through a lot here.
I was going to say another gift that I know you use to this day. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I
What?
not the one that bought you your chessboard?
Oh my god, yeah. We went Tiger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just playing on that just now.
So yeah, I feel like the original point being when you say
Original
right
point.
person, wrong time,
Right
it
present.
sounds a lot like you're talking about romance in some instances
Yeah.
with regards to compatibility and chemistry. But these are things that still apply to friendships. And friendship itself can romance doesn't have to mean a relationship.
Yeah.
So there are some things that sound romantic, but they can still definitely apply to friendship.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
the external factors that affect a relationship affect both romantic relationships and platonic relationships, long distance, career demands, other commitments. These are all things that affect your relationship with another person.
Mhm.
So if we were to simplify right person to meaning chemistry, you can get along with someone. You just might not have the time for them in your life.
Yeah, and as we get older, you just get so busy and it's like I know it sounds rude, but like your energy can only go to so many people. I mean, that's not even rude. Like, that's just the truth.
Maybe this is a problem that is specific to you and me, and you understand why I'm saying this. Someone might have too many friends, so it can
Yeah.
get to a point where you start making even more and more friends. It
Mm.
starts to feel a bit impossible, where you're spreading yourself a bit too thin.
Oh, honey, trust me.
What did I say to you that one time? I said something like, I've never been alone before. What was that quote?
You said, I've had difficult days, but never a lonely one.
So yeah, this is what I was gonna say. I
Mm.
know I'm privileged and I have a rich life because as you said, while I've
Mm.
had problems in my life and I've had days of hardship, I've never had
Never
any
a
days of
lonely one.
loneliness.
Me and you, yeah, I relate to that so much. Like, definitely, I'm not saying that I've not had a difficult day. Obviously, everyone has difficult days, but never a lonely one.
So there are times where I feel bad, where I feel like I can't give everyone the same level of commitment in my friendships. There are
Yeah.
some times I actually reconnected with someone recently. I haven't spoken to them in a year, and I will say it's all on my fault. It's all on my part because I
Well, I
did
was just
just
gonna
feel
say
too
to you,
busy.
yeah, I was just gonna say to you, is it always a good idea to reconnect with every single person? Because someone said on a TikTok post, like, there's a reason why you guys didn't work out as friends. But I guess I will update you on that with Halloween cookie.
But
Mm,
this is where
mm,
this my scenario doesn't relate. It's never
mm.
because we never worked out. The problem was never our chemistry. It was time.
Okay.
We got along and we tried to meet up,
Hmm.
but our schedules never aligned, and that is
Oh, I
something we
see.
felt was out of our power
Yeah,
because
okay.
in the time that I was unable to see them, it's not that I was not seeing other friends. I was still seeing other friends. It's just that our schedules never aligned.
Hmm.
When we caught up with each other recently, it felt like nothing had changed. We still had loads of chemistry. We still were getting along. We had a really good chat, and this happened while I was at work. So even then, schedule wise, it's not like we met up. It was all spontaneous. They bumped into me while I was at work. So it was a case of where they are, as I would say, the right person. We just haven't had the time to carry on and cultivate that friendship.
Okay. So it's not that it's wrong time, it's just there's no time.
Yes.
Essentially. Okay. Interesting.
Because enough time has passed, when we were catching up, there were so many stories we had to cut short because we kept saying to each other, oh, I need to go into more detail another time. Oh, remind me to bring this up again. I have a lot to tell you. X, Y, and Z. It made me
Yeah.
really excited to see them again because I have so many stories to share and I know I have so many stories to hear.
Well, you're making me think about another friend I was really close to.
Who? Do I know this person?
The new wagon wheel is a friend who I was really close to. Actually, we were childhood, like, because we lived a road away from each other. But there was a time during the pandemic where because we lived so close to each other, when we go on walks, we would just meet up just to go on walks. We just go for a drive, we just go for coffee. But we were inseparable. Dare I say it? There was a time where me and New Wagon Wheel were as close as me and you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because we just had that proximity where but we never got bored of seeing each other. Um, and then obviously it was sad when they had to move, and then priorities changed because then they moved, but they also had a relationship at the time. So then obviously if they're working, and then they had a new job, so everything was just on the up, and I just felt like I was still here. And I had a catch up with them a couple months ago, and then like things just switched, like suddenly I was in a happier place in my life and they were not. And
Mm.
that's sometimes, I wouldn't say awkward, but I feel like it's a bit emotional because it's like this person who you've mainly only had good times with, like, to see them go through a hard time, and then you're not physically close to them anymore, or even like virtually close, it's kind of sad, it's hard. I don't know if that's right person, wrong time, or if that's just like,
I
oh
would say
man,
right person, but wrong time for them.
for them, because it's kind of like, oh man, I wish you lived closer because then we could like go back to our old adventures. But then would we though? Because now I don't have that same free time anymore because my priorities have changed and I don't live in that same road anymore. And that
Hmm.
person doesn't live there anymore. So it's kind of like, were we just at the right time for that season?
Yes.
Would our friendship not be, well, I hope it would work out now. I mean, we definitely, the reality is we still care about each other a lot, but we just, there is no time for us to like meet up and have those days again.
One of the
It's sad.
reasons before why I said right person, wrong time is something you can think about in retrospect. Because in regard to that scenario, you could say you are right people, right time in the past.
In the past, it was like so close, so funny. Some of the like when I was going through a rough time with my ex girlfriend, like the only joy in my life was to hang out with this person, like because you know.
If
So,
anything, the present is the wrong time.
but it was a magical past.
Hmm.
So yeah. But then who knows about the future? But then that's what you mean. Like the phrase itself gives people hope that, oh, maybe we can reconnect in the future.
Yeah.
Same could be said about fig roll.
Would you say then, for your sake, you haven't given up on fig roll?
There are times I miss fig roll. And
What?
I would it's the same thing, fig roll and macaroon.
Mm.
Sorry, so when we're talking about these like savory snacks, it's so funny. Like, but they're real people. But like I would have hoped that they if they could see the person I am now, they would be very surprised. Because even though my essence is the same, I've just changed a lot as a person, I think. I've grown into a more I can stand up for myself a bit more, but I'm also happy in love, which is something they never got to see. So,
You've
yeah,
spoken about macaroon. Are you gonna consider inviting fig roll to your leaving party or no?
I think too much time has passed.
Okay,
Like, we have not seen each other in, like, 5 years. That's crazy.
that's fair.
Maybe 4 years, actually, but I don't know. That's still too much time. I think it'd be a bit random.
I,
There's a few people. See, this is the thing, it sounds so, like, high school.
maybe it's my boy brain.
Yeah.
In my head, it's almost like it's the perfect time to reconnect with them.
Well, as I'm leaving.
Yeah, be like, hey, listen, I know it's been a long time, but you were a big part of my life. We haven't necessarily ended on bad terms.
Wow, this is like a Netflix movie. It's like
Just want to
to
come
all
to
the
my leaving
friends
party.
to all the friends I loved before.
Yeah.
Just send everyone a letter, like, well, maybe that's a real that's a you know, not to make it too deep, but it's kinda like we should never really think about this, but do you actually ever wonder, like, at your funeral, who would come? Who would grieve for you, like,
Mm,
openly? Like, and it's kinda like, I don't know. I feel like certain people might spare me a thought, but I don't think they'd come to my funeral. And it's the same thing, I could send an invite out to my leaving party because it's a big thing. I'm, like, moving from London to like, the other side of the world.
mm.
Um it is a real interesting test to see if you would care enough to come or not to say goodbye.
When you said that, it also made me think kind of the opposite. Who would think about me on their deathbed?
Ooh, I think about you.
Oh,
I'd be thinking about you, I'd be thinking about I think back on our good times. Yeah.
so I want to mention this then. Kind of changing the topic. What would you say if we were to give examples and scenarios? What would be the difference between wrong person and right time and right person and wrong time?
Wrong person and right time. Ooh, that's I have a good one for that.
Okay,
Um, I can't remember their name. Are they raisin flapjack? You know who I'm talking about.
my
Raisin flapjack.
favorite.
Raisin flapjack would be a good example of that because,
A good example of what?
wrong person but right time.
Okay. What made
Justin,
them the wrong person and what made it the right
their
time?
personality.
Okay. Well, what was the right time then?
It was like a good time in my life where I was in between jobs, but I defo was like in a more kind of carefree state of mind, and I think if it was
Okay.
the right person, because this person at times seemed like they wanted to motivate me to find better for myself, like find a better job in the industry that I wanted gave me good opportunities in the music industry. But if they were just a kinder person, then maybe the
I
friendship
get
would
that
have lasted.
completely, yeah.
But the time was nice for what it was.
I understand that
Yeah,
because
but that's a
this is
very situational
well, this
situation.
is an example that I have here for, like,
Yeah.
wrong person, right time.
Mhm.
So I said, what how I interpreted that was, you're willingly picking someone who is a bad match for you, but despite the differences, you still made the connection. And one of the reasons and one of the examples I have is there are some people I was friends with in high school
Uh-huh.
that, in theory, we were not a good friend group or a friendship.
Really? Do they have
We were,
cookie code?
no, this is years ago. This is maybe 20 years ago. Like, this is
Okay,
how
I
old we're
see.
talking.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine what my immature mindset was like at the time.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
friends with people I shouldn't have been friends with. But the reason why it was the wrong person but the right time is because I just didn't want to be lonely.
Ooh.
Having any friend was better than having no friends.
I think there's some people who still feel that way, but I am trying to outgrow that mindset because
Mm.
quality over quantity is very important as you get older. Very
I
important.
think some people, they've never had a good friendship before. So the quote unquote bad friendships that they've had in their life, that's all they know and that's all how they see as a friendship.
Yeah.
So that's all they know how to have and achieve.
Interesting.
Other people, they when we talk about compatibility with another person, it's almost like a tally, pros and cons.
Pros
There
and
are some
cons.
things you do vibe with someone on. There are do some things you do have chemistry with, but there are other things that you just don't have in common.
Mhm.
And
I
when
see
you
that.
can start saying something is a good friendship or a bad friendship, is when one starts to outweigh the other, when the
When one
pros start
starts to
to
outweigh.
outweigh the
Yeah.
cons or the cons start to outweigh the pros. When you're in like a gray area, someone who's picking the wrong friends, but it's maybe the right time to have friends,
Uh-huh.
sometimes all that person knows is how to compromise. They don't know what it's like to have an effortless friendship. They don't know what it's like to have a friendship that doesn't drain you. Because to
Wow, that's so
someone,
true.
they see the draining as that's just an element of friendship. It's a give and a take.
Oh my
Sometimes I
gosh.
give, sometimes someone takes. That's all
That's
they know.
true. That's why there's some people that's like with if they're with a friend and all they're used to is that friend like making jokes that are quite mean, like negative comments
Mm,
about them, like, oh, like just so like, making them feel like it's like backhanded compliments in a way, and I guess they don't
yeah.
see it. And then I guess, but it's because they're so used to that, they think, oh, but this is how friendship is. I'm like, no, friends are supposed to lift you up, man.
So a lot of these scenarios that I've mentioned where people are picking the wrong people, but
Hmm.
for them, it's the right time. A lot of these, I would say, you could argue fall under the title of they're signs of desperation.
Yeah, because they'd rather not be alone.
Mm.
Mm.
So when you contrast that with what is the right person at the wrong time, this is more disputed. Dare I say, wrong person, right time makes a bit more sense. Right person, wrong time is a bit more hypothetical. It
Yeah,
really,
that's like the hope of like it was good, so it can be good again.
you're having to do a lot of mental acrobats to really justify it.
Yeah.
So, this is what some people said online.
Okay.
They were saying if it's the right person, then you can always make it work, regardless of the scenario that you're calling the wrong time.
Okay.
It's kind of like what you mentioned a scenario, and I can't remember if it was between you and the real wagon wheel or between you and me,
Mm.
but a phrase to kind of answer that all. It's where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to stay friends with this person, you will find a way to make it happen.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of like I was saying with the friend that I recently connected with. In ways, me saying our schedules didn't align can be seen as a cop out. If I
Mm,
really want to be friends with them, I will make time for them. So there's this
okay.
one quote that someone said, and I want your thoughts on this. Their name is Heidi Prieb, and I
Hello,
believe they're a
Heidi.
psychologist. They
Hello, Heidi.
said the right people are timeless.
Yes, true. Talking about me, and I agree. I am timeless.
They go on to elaborate and say, and I feel like I forgot they said this because I feel like I'm shooting myself here.
Uh,
They said you you don't need to fit them in a schedule; they become a part of it.
oh, I love that. I love that. I love that so much. Also, is that not me and you? Like we just call each other whenever, and we just fit each other in.
Like you've famously have called me your atoms, you've called me your bones, you've called me
Yeah,
your chakras. I
yeah.
call you my
The chakras.
I'm calling you
Sure.
my phone alarm.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. I
But I
love
think
that.
but I would even not argue, but I would elaborate to say, with an example being you, people who are timeless, people who do become your schedule, that takes time to get to that point. It doesn't happen overnight.
You're right, but I think it's more. You know me. I'm a vibes person, right? So like some things you can't explain, but like chemistry, and you can't really explain it. Like you either have chemistry or you don't. Do you agree? And like
Yeah.
we just we just
Yeah.
we make each other feel like we're part of each other's lives.
I think that's really nice.
Exactly.
So, at the beginning of the episode, I put a story up. So, to anyone who's listening, if you ever want to be part of these almost live, these episodes aren't live, but if you want to be part of the interactive elements of this, please do follow us on our Instagram and TikTok, Two Fortunes in a Cookie.
Yes.
I posted a poll and I just asked people, do you believe in right person, wrong time and why? And it is 60, it's 70-30. What do
Oh,
you think the majority voted for?
I'm gonna say they don't believe it.
Final answer?
Hmm.
No.
Oh,
Majority people said yes.
you hopeless romantics, you. I used to be like that. No, I'm joking. No, I
Majority
still
people
am.
said they
Mm,
do believe in right person, wrong time. But these are what some of our listeners said.
okay,
So
let's hear it.
let us see. So this person started off by saying, I almost pressed no, but then I thought, actually, if someone is not ready or healing when they meet the right person, they won't 100% be themselves yet. And therefore they're not that person's right person in that moment. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Ooh, that's a good point, actually. But it goes back to what I said about like you need time apart sometimes to heal and become better, so that when you come back, you are a better person. But there's
Mm,
always that risk of, okay, it doesn't work if only one person changes, comes back, and is a better person. I think right person, right time would indicate that both people have healed in a way. But then
hmm.
there's loads of arguments about that are saying, but who is really like healed? You know, we're always on the
Yeah.
path of healing. Did I meet my boyfriend when I was completely healed? No. But was I at least making the effort to start healing? Yes. You know,
Maybe not healing, but self discovery.
self discovery, self. This is where I genuinely started to have a bit more self love. Yeah. So I think you can meet the right person whilst you're healing, not necessarily healed, is what I mean.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Because some people, and this applies to relationships, but maybe it can apply to friendships,
Oh.
where a lot of people say they're not going to go out there until they're a fully realized healed person.
But when is
And
that? Yeah.
yeah,
When is that, you know?
I guess it's just when someone feels confident and comfortable.
Oh.
Is that the same as saying when I feel perfect? Or is that something, am I reading too much into that?
Well, it's basically almost saying that because what is fully healed? But thank you for your point there. It's a good
No,
reply.
you're very welcome. As someone else just said, if they were the right person,
It would be the
it
right
would be
time.
the right time.
That's the one I always hear. I think in romantic situationships, I can see that. But in friendships, I don't know. I stand by what I said. Sometimes you're just friends for a season, and then they serve their purpose, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on to meet the other friends that are right for you in that moment. I don't know why it's different from romantic relationships, but I do feel that strongly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say to you, before we end this episode, because we are coming close to the end,
Yeah.
now that we've done both sides of this, we've spoken about our own experience of right person, wrong time.
Yeah.
We've even discussed the difference between right person, wrong time and wrong
Wrong
person, right
person, right
time.
time.
Coming towards the end of this, do you have a final opinion? Do you feel more solidified? Or are you still as confused as you were in the beginning?
Yeah, I'm such a Libra. I see both parts so strongly. But I think ultimately, I think if it's the right person, then it's the right time.
I was going to say one
Which
thing
for
that I neglected to
yeah.
think about,
Yeah.
but you made me realize is the whole thing about things being temporary. You can
And
be
that's
friends for a
okay.
season, and that's
Exactly.
okay.
And that's okay. And in that sense, like we discussed, which you made me realize, the present is always the right time.
I think we can always, as we've said, hope for a better future and look back and not necessarily regret, but think about things we would have done differently in the past.
Mm.
The present is where it's at.
The right person, wrong time. It's a romantic saying, but I think if it's the right person, it will always be the right time.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know how long that time will last.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my conclusion.
Tea. Chai.
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 Da, chai. Yeah. I think there's another quote I saw, I think on Substack was like, nostalgia is a good thing because it's like what a privilege is it that we are yearning for our past memories.
This relates to what I was saying before. There are some people who say to themselves, a friendship is better than no friendship.
Mm.
Human connection,
Human connection.
it's so close to us, but so hard to hold on to. You don't
Yeah.
realize it until it slips your grip.
And I hope that makes you think as well, because it's kind of like it's the answer is that it's not so simple. It's not so black or white. There's gray areas with this. It's situational. Some friendships are just for seasons. Some things are temporary, but it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we spoke about it because it made me think about things I never even thought to think about.
Yeah, it really did.
Because
But
dare I say this,
wow,
let's say you do go to Canada and we do take some space. I hope we don't.
I hope we
If we
don't.
do, I can only hope it's for the best.
But then, yeah. But then, would that apply to us again, where it's like right person but wrong time because it's literally different time zone?
I would say so, yes.
But then, you know, to counteract that, if it's the right person, you wouldn't. I would just fit into your schedule somehow. We would just make it work.
Well, here's the thing. Just because you're not talking doesn't mean we're not friends.
Yeah, just not because we're not actively going for a smoothie together. Like,
Dare I say, in that time period where you and me were not talking for over a year, almost want to say it's not that we weren't friends. It just wasn't the time for us. We were still friends, but we didn't need to see each other.
we cared about each other.
As we both said, we were both actively thinking about each other.
But I guess we just had other things going on in our lives. But maybe subconsciously, you knew that we would rekindle.
In my head, I had never said goodbye to you. It never felt like I had the reason to say goodbye.
I see that. I appreciate that. Well, it's the same thing. Well, then when I go to Canada, there's no reason to say. We'll say bye. We'll say see you later, not goodbye.
Well, I would say thank you for listening to this
Thank you for
episode.
listening, guys. I hope you felt something from that.
It's time to open a fortune cookie.
Okay, I got mine. Ready?
I've got mine. Do you want to say yours first? Shall I say mine?
All right. Mine is home is where your heart is.
Oh.
It's really cute.
Mine is your smile will light up someone else's day.
It's true.
This is
It
very
has.
cute.
This is very cute.
Aw.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening again. And that is us. It's been awesome.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode. I am Darin.
I'm Cathy.
And this was Two Fortunes in a Cookie. If you listened all the way to the end, thank you very much. And thank you for being a consistent listener with us. If you are interested in partaking in any future polls or anything, do visit our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Two Fortunes in a Cookie. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Good night.